Welcome back to CS195 Web Development, Week 3 Intro to CSS. We're going to do a real quick HTML comment. Figure to fit it in right here for us, but basically this is going to be useful through the rest of this. And hopefully you already kind of know what comments are, so this shouldn't be too bad. Remember from pretty much all of our lessons, we're going over using style to change stuff. Last class was class. And again, going back with that, where do you put the actual class so that you can change it? Pause, think. All right, so hopefully you have the answer in your head. The answer should be you put it in that first tag, just like the ID. The class is an attribute, and therefore you put it inside that tag. And remember, it's attribute equals quotes, and then how do you call a class? Remember, hashtag, or how do you select a class? Hashtag selected the ID and then whatever the ID was that you just wrote. What was it? Hopefully you got period in your head. Yep, period in the class name is what you did this. So today's lesson, we just want you to really understand how to add a comment in HTML and then really kind of what you use it for. And in HTML, there's kind of two different ways to use it, which I guess I use technically in some other programming as well. At the end of this, you'll be able to add these comments to pages that we're going to make. So here's a thing, our success criteria. Students will demonstrate adding a comment to a web page, notifying others who created the page. So you'll be able to, when we're done with this and we start adding this to our projects, you're going to be able to put that you created the web page in a comment on your thing. So we've got to pay attention to how you do this. It's not super hard. You can use it for a lot more than just adding your name, but we're going to start with that. So here's the con video real quick, and then we'll try it out.
Everything that we've put in our web pages so far has been either content displayed by the browser or tags to tell the browser how to display it. Sometimes, though, we just want to put information in our web pages for other humans to read and for the browser to ignore. To do that, we write an opening angle bracket, exclamation mark, 2 dashes, and some text inside here, and then 2 dashes and a closing angle bracket.
That's pretty much it. I mean, you can have multi-lines just by adding enter, and you can type in more stuff. So that's how you add a note. Now she's going to kind of go over some ideas on how to use it, but that's the first part of our objective. That's how you create it. This, type whatever you want to type, and then you close it with that.
We call this a comment, and it's something that we do in all sorts of programming languages because we often want to do things that are just for humans. That's the thing about programs. They're not just for computers to look at. They're also for other humans to look at because we often work together on things and learn from each other. Okay, what do we use comments for besides just saying hello to our fellow humans? Well, we might use them for letting people know where content came from. Like if they want to update it, I'll say this paragraph is based on the Wikipedia article. And I should probably actually give a link to that too. And this paragraph is based on Pamela's personal opinion. It's a very well-trusted source. And then, maybe we'd even say, give a link inside the comment, say these lyrics were from here. And that helps people know how I got the content of this page. Do you notice something about these comments? They are all green. That's because we're using a code editor with syntax highlighting, and it uses colors to help us see what's what, and comments are pretty much always colored green by convention. We could also use comments to comment out parts of our HTML. Like if we want to experiment with taking something away from our web page, we just surround it with a comment. Okay, da, da, da.
All right, so you see why rabbits create pets. That is gone now. This is a great way. I've used this in regular coding as well. But it's very useful to just say, okay, what does it look like without that? What happens to the code if I just comment this out? How does it change? So if you wanted to make something go away, you could do that. But what's nice about it is you don't delete it. If you need it back, you can get it back really quick. So That's what's really nice about comments. We're going to go ahead and try that out real quick because really there's nothing to it. I'll full screen it for you and make it larger, but biggest thing is we're going to tab in there, and then again whatever I type in here is just not going to show up. So this exclamation point dot dot, this site was created by me, dash dash, boom, and there you go. It doesn't show up, nothing below it's affected. I could still add a p tag here and it show up. So that's pretty much it to comments for HTML. There's a different way to do it for CSS, and then there's different ways to do it for Python, which you might eventually learn. So with all of this, there's plenty of different ways, but this is the method for HTML. Have a great night. We'll see you next lesson.